Welcome everyone and welcome to the Sonic Show. I am your host for this time, Luna EC64, or if you've been watching the Sonic Show live, you must have known me as ShadyX. I'm here to give you a let's play of Sonic CD, which is a special treat because with Sonic 4 Episode 2 and Sonic 4 Episode Metal soon approaching us, I thought I'd treat us all to see what the origins of Sonic 4 Episode 2. Now I'll be playing through as Tails because Jay, or the Eggman I should say, has already played through as Sonic in a live stream. Now so people are aware, I'm doing post commentary, so it won't be the same as how, say, Tanner or Fuhad do their recordings. Which is sad to say, but at least this way I can give you all an introduction to me and just give you my opinions on the game, rather than seeing me talk whilst trying to play, since I'm usually not the best person for that. When I focus I go quiet, and that doesn't really do much. So yeah, I'm going to be trying to do a speed run of this more than anything else, but at the same time I'm going to try and show all the mechanics, like going into the future, going into the past, making a good future, making a bad future, and trying to get the time stones. Whether or not I'll get them all is a different story altogether. Now, to start off, I'll introduce myself. Obviously, I've already said my name. You can call me EC, and the origin behind that is Eclipse Cannon, which was my first online username on a Sonic forum I used to go on. But I guess for now that's not really so much important. But I got to be part of the Sonic Show in an odd manner really. It kind of started back in summer Sonic 2011, that's just, well, which passed. And I was cosplaying as Knuckles the Echidna, who is my favourite character in the Sonic series. Simply because he breaks the mould, and he's, well, red, and has an attitude. Not so much angsty like Shadow was, but he was cocky, but he knew his priorities. He did things because he wanted to make sure that things were meant to be the way that he was told to keep them. And, well, Knuckles reminds me of me sometimes. Easy, gullible and all that jazz. But, oh well. Well, since then, me and Jay started talking. Since he remembered me as being the Knuckles. And, well, since talking from there, he invited me to join one of his live streams. And since then I've become a part of the show. And, well, I couldn't be happier really, because if I had never been part of it, I would have never met so many great people who I call my friends now. Obviously, because of Jay, there's members of the Sonic Paradox, who I get on with really well. And, well, they have lots of brilliant stuff coming out, so when you get a chance, do look out for any new videos that the Sonic Paradox may be or maybe not releasing. I won't go into detail because, well, it's not my right in mind to say. Also, there is the Canadian brothers, Fuhad and Tanner, who are not actually brothers, but as a little comic relief, I'll say they're the Super Canadian brothers. Well, because they're both super, they're both Canadian, and, well, most people mistake them to be brothers. Obviously, Fuhad and Tanner would be in their usual Let's Plays, however, due to technical difficulties and other life issues, they won't be able to do so for a while. So, till they get back, you have me to look after you and keep you entertained, which I hope I can do without boring you. Now, before you're wondering what the hell I've been doing in this, I was looking for the Metal Sonic hologram, which is there. A word of advice for anyone that plays Sonic CD and is looking to look for the teleporters or for the generators. Always go right. There's only one stage where you have to go backtrack to get one, but that's it. All other stages, it's pretty straightforward. They're on top of each other pretty much. And now, as I promised, I'd show you a special stage. And it's very unique compared to the usual stages that you're used to. Well, in this one, instead of collecting rings and breaking through gems to get to the Chaos Emerald, you destroy UFO ships. Why, you ask? I have not got the foggiest. But whilst we're here, I'll quickly explain what each alien ship gives you for smashing it. Purple aliens give you rings which double up after each time. Blue spaceships with white tints give you speed boosts. And blue spaceships with red tints, which only appear in the last 10-15 seconds of the stage, give you an extra 30 seconds time, which is very useful, especially if you want to try and not miss your chance to get a time stone. Though if you are worried about being if you're not confident enough to get to the spaceship in time, you can always pause the game, exit, and the game will automatically start you off in the special stage when you play next time, which is a handy trick that I used to get one of the achievements. Now, speaking of trophies and achievements, I'll explain, well, one by one how to get them, because I briefly showed what they were at the very beginning, very briefly, being the understatement. But I'll do that when we reach Collision Chaos, because there's a few interesting things I want to say about this boss, which we're about to do. And obviously, if you look at the Eggman Space Pod, it's red. In the good future, however, it's pink. And obviously, it being the first boss, it's probably one of his greater ones, because he's perfectly invulnerable till he obviously puts his gun on his guard when he backs up like that. And the only thing about Sonic CD bosses that I disliked is the fact that they take about 3 to 4 hits at most, and that's it. Which is kind of disappointing, since it feels like you're just playing against the bosses in Sonic Generations, which didn't take that many hits. But oh well, we've completed Palm Tree Panic, now on to Collision Chaos, the casino stage of this game, which breaks the mold since most casino stages are around either the 3rd or 4th stage. Well, of course this one has been the 2nd. Now, if I haven't mentioned, Collision Chaos is my 2nd favourite stage in the game, because, well, I enjoy listening to the music of stages. If the music works well, I'm going to be hooked onto it. And, okay, sorry about that. Though it doesn't seem so at first, it works a lot better. And, well, and also with Collision Chaos, basically trying to go back in time or forward in time is really easy, as I will show in a second. Which is basically find a loop or way to rebound off any red springs and spam it. Easy teleportation. And going back in time or into the future gives you your first achievement / trophy, codenamed 88 miles per hour. Which is an obvious reference to Back to the Future, for those who didn't notice. Now, I'll say this now, since, like I said, this is post-commentary. The Act 1 of each stage, I'm just going to try and, well, just whiz through, but if I find generators on the way, then I'll get them. It's more the Act 2s that I go after the generators and succeed. But also Act 2 I go after trying to get enough rings to enter the special stage, which I kind of failed. But this is Act 1, so it's not that bad. And actually speaking, since we're on the top, since this is Sonic CD, I'll bring up an interesting fact about the music. The Japanese theme is called Sonic Warrior, or is well known as that. However, I happen to have the 10th anniversary soundtrack, which came with the birthday bundle from Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast, and I've got the 20th anniversary soundtrack of Sonic CD. And 2 Sonic Warriors actually labelled Sonic You Can Do Anything. Whether or not this is just a modernised plug name, and the original soundtrack is just called it 2 Sonic Warrior. Whichever one it is, it doesn't matter, since we all know it. It's a classic song. If you don't know it, then where have you been, really? If you've never played Sonic CD, then it's understandable because it came out on the Mega CD. Not exactly one of them, well, most common consoles or add-ons to have, like the 32X for example, which in itself, trying to find it is a nightmare, especially in this time. And, well, if I do get hold of the 32X, I hope to give you a special treat. If no one can guess that already, what it is, I won't say, but it's only if I get one. But, moving on. After this Sonic CD Let's Play, I plan to do some more to keep you entertained, and obviously I'm open to suggestions. Preferably if it's games that I can obtain on the PlayStation 3, that would be really advised. Since I can't do Let's Plays on games on the PS2 or the Xbox 360 because I don't own the console. And anyone says GameCube or Wii, I'm sorry, but I don't have... The capture card I'm using doesn't have the capabilities of that. Sounds silly, but that's how it goes. If it does, then I don't mind doing some, but at the moment, due to lack of funding, I'm going to have to put other plans like that on hold. Now, since we're in the special stage again, I'll quickly discuss, well, it's a bit late to discuss, but I'll say it anyway. On the floor of each special stage, you've got certain patterns. One either being traps, which will trip you over and take half your rings. Springs that will boost you off so far. Air vents, which will give you another boost, like a spring. And arrow panels, which will shoot you in whichever direction they're pointing in. Obviously, avoid the water at all costs because that drains your time. For whatever reason, I haven't got the clue. Also, whilst we're in the boss of Collision Chaos, using tails, which makes this boss incredibly easy, since you could just spam Tails' ability to fly rather than worrying about aiming with the pinball machine, in a sense. Because with Sonic, it's more luck and accuracy than just being able to fly. And it disappoints me that this boss really only takes 3 hits. Well, not so much 3 hits, but 3 nudges. Why? Don't ask. That's just how it goes. Well, we've got through Palm Tree Panic and Collision Chaos, and we're 15 minutes through this so far. I'm taking too much time. I'm not happy with that. So, on to my least favourite stage in the game, Tidal Tempest, the water stage, which bears an uncanny resemblance to Labyrinth Zone, one of the banes of my life, because even to this day I still hate Labyrinth Zone. Me completing it is a miracle in itself. Completing Sonic 1 is another thing altogether. But I have done it, I will admit. I've struggled, but I have done it. I've completed Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles. I've completed many times. I've enjoyed playing them so much. Because Sonic CD would be my second favourite classic Sonic game, but Sonic and Knuckles would have to be my first. Simply because, well, Knuckles was the playable character, and I just loved how he was. And they didn't take away from Knuckles and try and make him better than Sonic. He had his pros and he had his cons. Being he could glide and climb walls, but he couldn't jump that high. Meaning things that Sonic could do really easy are a challenge for him. And obviously with the lock-on technology with Sonic and Knuckles, you could go and play Sonic 2 as Knuckles, which was interesting nonetheless. Oh well. Sorry, I just some unusual some unusual things are happening outside, and I'm not too sure why. It's just random. Oh, it looks like lightning. Lovely. When lightning appears, you get thunder. Oh well. Oh well. Sorry about the quietness. Like I said, I seem to admit I'll be doing a let's play during a thunderstorm, which is always what you want to do. Not. So, my personal opinions on Sonic CD is revolutionary. It's just a shame that the Mega CD didn't hit off as well as it should have. But there's not a lot you can do, really. Now, when going into the future or going into the past, obviously things are going to look different. Going to the past will be different from going into the good future. Going into the future, normal future, is exactly the same as the bad future. So if you see the bad future, you don't have to ever worry about going through the teleports. All that really matters is trying to get the past and get the good future, which I hope I've done at least once. If not, I do apologise, and I'll try and do. I'm trying to do several things at once, which isn't the wisest thing to do. But oh well. Well, at the moment, since really, I think everyone hearing me talk is getting to a point where it's just like, oh, would you stop talking? So, for now, till I can have something that I can entertain you with. Actually, the stroke of lightning outside has just made me think of what I can discuss, which is convenient. Which is, I was going to explain how to get the trophies and achievements in the game. At least that way, for those who want to know, it's something to do, and it gives me something to talk about. Basically, there's 12 trophies and achievements altogether. One being 88 miles per hour, which is go back in time or going forward in time at least once, which we've already done. The second one is just one hug, which you can only obtain by playing as Sonic. Actually, you can only get any of the achievements by playing as Sonic. If you play as anyone else, you're not going to get them. Simply because, well, some of them have to be Sonic, regardless. So yeah, just one hug is beat Stardust Speedway Act 3 and let Amy Rose give you one hug. That's it. Easy trophy. Or achievement, whichever you're playing. The third one is well, Paradise Found, which is get a good future, meaning in Act 1 and Act 2 of a stage you find the teleporter. you don't have to find Metal Sonic's hologram. The key thing is the teleporter. If you find that and destroy both in the same act, well, both of them in Act 1 and Act 2 are the same stage, like Palm Tree Panic, you get the good future. The fourth one is take the upper route, which you can only get in Collision Chaos Act 2. And it's not as clear as it sounds. Pretty much, when you see the goalpost saying goal right, do not follow it. Use the loop, well, the U-bend where you're on, and try and get as high as possible, preferably using the figure 8 technique, to reach up to the top. Next one is King of Rings, which is collect 200 rings, which is pretty much straightforward. And I managed to do that in Tidal Tempest Act 1, believe it or not. My least favourite stage, I got probably what I consider the more annoying trophy, because unless you know where all the rings are, it's gonna be time consuming. Next one, I believe, is a Lucky Charm. Whether that's the right name or not is, if not, then I apologise. Which basically find the hidden angel statue in Wacky Workbench in Act 1, I believe. I'll point it out when it comes close to the time, and you can only access that in the past, because if you access it in the future, there's a Robotnik statue there, and you'll be trapped, to say the least. So it's best to avoid it. So going on, next one is Scrap Metal, which is quite challenging, and that's beat the Metal Sonic boss without getting hit once from either the ring, well, the spikes, Metal Sonic, or the big laser that Robotnik uses to chase you, or Eggman, whichever you prefer calling him. Next one is collect all the time stones, which pretty much straightforward, collect all the time stones. Now, as I said earlier, an easy way of guaranteeing yourself unlimited chances to get a time stone is, if you're scared that you're going to run out of time, within the last 5 seconds or so, pause the game and exit, and the next time you start the game on that file, you'll be at a special stage, the same one that you left off at. So there you go, unlimited chances, handy for you. The next one is beat the game, which just beat the final boss and complete the game, really. Another one is, trying to think which it is, which is pretty much just beat Eggman's final robot. So you're getting 2 trophies / achievements in one. Beat the game and beat the final boss. That's it. And the most tedious one, I'd say, is Saviour of the Planet, which is basically you go and destroy all the robot generators, teleporters, and the Metal Sonic holograms in each stage. You cannot miss one. And also, a catch to it, you cannot get all the time stones and get that achievement at the same time. Because if you get all the time stones before the game, the last stage, all the generators will be automatically smashed for you. That's what the time stones do. And to be perfectly honest, I felt rather cheated when I'd done it. But you learn one way, and sadly I learnt the hard way. If there's any trophies or achievements I've left out, please let me know, so at least I can explain it in the next Let's Play. Now I've explained that, we're in Quartz Quadrant, and for those who may notice, this music was actually played in one of the Sonic CD trailers to advertise it. Which one it was exactly I cannot remember, but I know this song was played in one of the trailers. I'm trying to, whilst playing as Tails, I'm trying to do the best I can to give you all a good performance, as well as trying to redeem the the reputation that the Sonic show kind of has, well, sort of fail Let's Plays, which I disagree with. Whether or not people say that, that's down to them. I play Sonic games a lot and I take pride in it. So I can be a bit of a perfectionist. And, well, I won't go into that really. And now, so far, so good. This is the full special stage. And obviously, we're in what looks like South Island from the Sonic OVA movie in the background. And an interesting fact is apparently there was a rumoured special stage where Eggman's face is in the horizon. A huge Eggman one. I've never managed to unlock it, I don't believe, so if anyone knows how to unlock it, please let me know, because I'm more than happy to go and take it for a spin. Now, that noise you just heard indicates you're short on time. So, basically, when that happens, the alien with extra time appears, and you will always be in the centre of the stage. So have no fear about that. If you're worried, like I said, don't worry. And even if you hit him once, you get unlimited chances. Because he just respawns. Just don't do what I just did there. So, 4 special stages, 3 successful runs, 1 not so successful. And now, then we're going to the boss, which, in my opinion, this boss is different, but, well, different from all the rest, but slightly anticlimactic. Obviously, I've discussed that the bosses in this game take about, what, 3 to 4 hits to defeat him? This takes no hits. It's just time related. You need to hit Eggman to bring down the pod to start the boss, and then it's just run. That's all you do. Just run and avoid getting hit by the bombs or the spikes, which I'm clearly not doing right. And after a while, the platform underneath Eggman just slowly wears away, and that's how you defeat him. So really, you don't hit him once, you just wear away at the base. If you do that successfully, then congrats, easy boss. And we've had our first death, and that's in just over halfway in the game. So I'm happy, but I'm disappointed at the same time. Also, I'll point out that if in the Act 3 of each stage there should be a life hidden somewhere, and if you die, they respawn, so you've got a guaranteed extra life, no matter what happens. Whether you get, if you're able to get 100 rings, then you're lucky. But I don't think they put 100 rings in there. But well, let's try doing this boss again. Now, interestingly enough, the American soundtrack, well, for the boss thing, was much more eerie and unsettling, whilst this boss, which is the Japanese song, just seems to, well, in my opinion, just seems rather, well, I don't know, it works but it doesn't work at the same time. But that's just me being fussy. I love the music, both good and bad, because if you don't have the bad, you never learn. And that's what some people think is cheesy. Well, we're at the 30-minute mark, so this is the end of part 1. I'll be back next time to make sure I bring you the rest of Sonic CD and show you the boss of...
I don't know what the that was.